live at Studio 10-4 with the Studio 10-4 weekly update. What is going on out there, everybody? Good to have you in the studio this afternoon. We're streaming live to you from Folsom, California, where today it's damn near 80 degrees. Winter came, it left. The spring's here. I don't know. We're trying to figure it out. It just is what it is. So, not complaining because it's beautiful. I was actually out barbecuing some chicken earlier before the show, and we had a nice lunch out on the patio, Miss Julia and I, and it was really enjoyable. So good to have folks here in the studio already so early. Nice to see you all. Everett Ford, welcome on board, of course. Good to have you. Neri Albeer, I don't know you, but Neri, nice to have you. Pete Henderson, what's up, buddy? Kevin, how are you? Good to have you on the show. Billy Joe Burrell, another chef as well there, man. Barbecue extraordinaire. Stephanie Haas, the diesel addict in the show. Charles Hale, last week's guest and cover trucker for February 2022. Jim Stoltz, Joe Wilson, Todd Follier, and Bubba. What is up with Bubba Branch? How are you, man? Good to have you in the studio, pal. Got a great show. Want to thank, first of all, Matt's for still being around, man. I'll tell you, it was interesting over the last 2 years with everything we had to go through to get to this point. But congratulations to Mid-America Trucking Show and the Paul K. Young Truck Beauty Championship for being here in 2022. And of course, Matt's celebrating their 50th year anniversary of the show. Looks to be a good one. And today's show, we have JC Alt in the green room waiting to get in. And he is our guest today. He's also November 2019 cover trucker. And I've got him, I've got some pictures. In fact, I've got his feature up on the queue. So we'll bring that in a bit. But we're going to be talking to JC about Matt's and about the Paul K. Young Truck Beauty Contest and what that's going to look like this year. He's taken over for Bud Farquhar, who's been at it for many, many years over there in Louisville. And of course, a lot of us go way back with Bud and know him and really appreciate all the work that he's done over the years. Miss Julia is here actually live in studio, but she is in her office working on the other side of the establishment today. Thanks, Dan. I appreciate it. Had a great birthday yesterday. It was low key, man. Not bad for the big 6-0. Who'd have thunk it? You ask some of my friends if they're surprised I'm here. They're probably as surprised as I am. So we're glad to be here, and it's definitely. I don't feel a day over 59. So what the heck? I don't know. Anyway, Joe Wilson, thank you, buddy. Kevin, all y'all been there. They're saying happy birthday to me. I appreciate it. And yeah, Bubba, can't wait to see everybody at Matt's. Right on, right with you there, man. I'll tell you. It is going to be, I think this is going to be a phenomenal show with all the cool things that are going to be going on and stuff that we know about and stuff we don't know about. Of course, that'll be just everybody's surprise. So we're not going to be able to talk about what we don't know because that's a surprise for everybody. But once we bring JC in, we'll be talking about the whole picture as far as what we can talk about. So I want to take a moment and I want to reach out to a special friend of ours. And let me bring up the share screen here because it's kind of important there. I want to bring him up. Want to say our condolences are with Josh Retfield and Renee, of course, his beautiful wife. Josh lost his father just yesterday, I believe. And it's been a touch and go for a while. So Josh, we're thinking about you. All of us at 10-4 send our condolences, and we love you. And we hope that we get to see you and Renee in Louisville as we used to all the time. That would be awesome. So please make yourself available. Hope you guys will be there for that. I really do hope so. All right. So other stuff going on, of course. We've got things in the background happening with Trucking for Kids. It's still happening on September 11th. So stick around for that every day between now and then because things are definitely going to be shaping up after Matt's is over and we're all back. Right now, you should see my studio over there and way back over there is covered in Matt's stuff. We have a meeting taking place tomorrow. Dan and I do, and we're going to be shipping stuff out in the next few weeks. Well, a few weeks will be in Louisville, so next week or so. But we're meeting tomorrow to get all that stuff together and shipped. And I got a reveal here for us here at 10-4. Dan the man, you get to see these the first time too. These are the brand new Studio 10-4 magazine flags that we got. And you will be seeing these flags in Louisville. They're not available to anybody to purchase. They are our display flags, but they will be in Louisville mounted on, which you can't see right now, the 10-4 magazine, Studio 10-4 live streaming cart, the live stream cart. We have to come up with a name for this cart too. But this thing is going to be a kind of a mind blower. All right, so I'm excited about it, and it's going to be something that's a first. I looked high and low to try and find something to put together for the show to make it possible, because in Louisville we don't get golf carts, and usually at truck shows I mount a studio completely onto the golf carts, and I have my cameras, the broadcast equipment, everything is set up and mounted on the golf cart. Well, no golf carts in Louisville, so I put together an electric hand push golf cart and converted it into a studio cart. And this thing is going to be lit up. I've got blue LEDs. I've got a red and blue flashing light mounted on the flagpole, just like you'd see on a police car. Programmable. I got a bunch of different sequences, and we even got a siren and a loudspeaker on there. So I am going to definitely make our presence known throughout the show, and can't wait to have some fun with it, because it's just going to be a lot of fun. Daniel says Carl still. I don't know, man. Just from lack of anything else that I can come up with at this point, it may be Carl. So Carl the Cart, I guess. Okay. Joe Wilson, yeah, see you in Louisville, buddy. Miss Julia. And Miss Julia is saying it right there. Yeah. The loudspeaker, I don't know where I've got that thing at right now. It's around here somewhere. Anyway, there's pieces all over my studio right now. I mean, because I just got the flags and the poles, and I've got 2 more brackets coming for these lights that I've got. Check these guys out. So these lights, and you know what's going to happen now? The guys are going to want to buy these, because they're going to want to put them on trucks and have them for ground effects. I guarantee it. But these emit about a 4 foot to 6 foot long, bright blue line, straight line on the ground. And I'm going to have 2 of them that are going to be putting a line down on the ground on each side of the cart. So at nighttime, I kind of have a little light barrier, and then the flashing light on top. In fact, here's the light right here. I wish I could reach the power. I'd plug it in for you guys, man. It's a bomb. I mean, this thing in the studio last night, I turned it on, and it literally just blew us out of here. Incredible. Anyway, boys and their toys, right? I know it is what it is. But and the other guys that are coming in the show, good to have you guys in here. Todd, Kevin, nice to see you. Tiffany Pope Meadows, nice to have you in there. Hey, appreciate you coming into the show. Thank you. Yes, Stephanie, thank you. Jose, why has it got to be Jose? What's your camera's Pedro? Is that it? Are we creating a symbiotic kind of thing going on here, or what? I don't know. Anyway, cart, beer caddy, Everett, I'm with you on that. They actually sell an after thing, because of the cart manufacturer sells all these effects, and one of them is a cooler. You can put a cooler on this thing. Wait till you guys see this thing. It's a freaking mind blower. Anyway, yeah, Brandon, damn straight, man. Damn straight. That's what I'm saying right there, man. I would honorable mention would be pretty cool. I tell you, at this point, that would be something. JC, no, we can't influence you on that, but if we can at all, you can certainly make mention. Either it'll be a good thing, or how much we annoyed everybody with all the lights and the sirens and everything that PA is going to put on there. Hey, guys, I'm going to go ahead and bring JC into the show right now. We had JC, how you doing, buddy?
Good. How are you?
Oh, I'm fantastic, man. We had some fun earlier this afternoon, JC and I did, and I hope the phone's working better too now, right?
I think so. I hope so. Thanks for all your technical support there.
I can't believe it won't, because so tech tip of the day, guys, if you don't turn your phone on and off at least once a day, truthfully, especially traveling, because your phone is switching towers and moving so much throughout the day, networks, everything. It's good to turn it off every day, off and on. The other thing is clear your cache out. Clear the cache on the phone, and that way your phone will be a little happier, work a little faster. Anyway, we got through a bunch of stuff, and lo and behold, man, JC's a pro now, and he knows his phone. He's got some new features and functions that he never knew were there, and now he knows how to do them. So I'm just glad to have you on the show, buddy.
Thank you, and happy birthday again from yesterday, and hope it was a good one, and hope you enjoyed your chicken from earlier.
Oh, I did, man. You know, it got a little crispy, but that's okay. Yeah, when we were working together to get here to this point, I had that stuff, and I look out the window, and I could see a lot of smoke, and it's like, man, I better get out there and turn that thing. Anyway, Stephanie Haas there saying that she hopes to see us all in a couple weeks, and you know she will. So we're all going to be out there. So 2019, I mean, that was only a couple of years ago, but you know, how's the truck doing, man? I mean, that was the cover of the November 19 magazine, and you're definitely part of the 10-4 family, and now you're the big head cheese at PKY, man, right? You're taking that on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The Tilton Hilton's still running up and down the road. It's somewhat still earning its keep, and here in a couple of weeks, it'll definitely earn its keep again. And so we're kind of excited. We've got some ideas and some surprises coming, and it'll be down in Louisville this year for sure.
So you are bringing the truck. Well, that's cool.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It'll be there probably from Friday or probably Saturday through Sunday. Yes.
All right. Well, I'm as we're talking, I'm showing some pictures of it, and we wanted to bring the show to you guys out there watching tonight from the shop, but we couldn't get any good signal in there, and we would have been right there with the truck, but just there was no signal. It's just too much steel around it, and it just killed the signal. But there she is, looking good.
It seems like it was yesterday,
doesn't it?
Dan and his wife and Eric, we had a good couple days out here by the pond, and it was very flattering to be on the cover, and we had a good time shooting the truck and doing the story.
The Bob Harley Pond.
Yep. Bob Hart. Well, the Bob Harley Pond. He's my dozer operator.
Yep. Small circle and world we travel in, isn't it?
Yeah, it would have probably been cheaper to have somebody do it compared to as much adult beverages as we went through digging that. But we definitely had a good time digging it, and he did a nice job for me.
Yeah, I was going to say you might have done better cost wise, but you wouldn't have had near as much fun.
Yep, and he did a superb job, and he's one of the best in that field too.
So tell us a little bit about more about the truck. I mean, the story's been written, but just tell us some updates of what's going on and you know what was going on then versus now. It's truck looks great though. I bet it still looks as good as it does when it was shot that day back in November. Well, it was published in November. When did they actually come out and shoot the pictures?
It was in the middle of summer when they shot it. I can't remember the exact date, but it was. We got right down to the deadline of when it was going to be published, and they came out after one of the shows and shot it, and it wasn't too long after that it came out in print. But it's pretty much still the same. We've got a surprise lurking in the wings that will be in Louisville, and I'm pretty sure you're not going to be able to miss it.
All right. Well, I can't wait. You know, we'll be sure and get by there with Carl, our 10-4 Studio 10-4 cart, live stream cart, and take time to go over whatever that might be and do a walk around and an interview that if that's what we can do with it.
I don't think the surprise will be too surprising when you see it. I think it'll pretty much stand for itself what we've got up our sleeve.
All right. Nice. Looking forward to that and more. You know, just noticing in here what you got on the back of your deck, and you got those Peterbilt. Those are 359 hood tops, right?
Yes. You know, I'm a 359 guy, and I always have been and probably always will be. And Brian Martin had those in the corner of his shop, and we ruined 3 hoods to get those pieces out to
Yeah.
do that for my cab over. But I wanted to incorporate something of a 359 to a 362. And there's only been a handful of guys that know what those are and know the significance of them.
Yep.
And I just wanted to do something different and kind of tie it into, what I stand for or believe in, if you will, if that's a good way to put it.
Oh yeah, no, you know what? You go with what you appreciate and what you like, and what I think's cool about that is you repurpose something from another truck model into what you did in your design of that cab over, and it came out great. It's a nice addition. I like it.
I appreciate it. When I showed my 359 and my matching hopper, one of the last years I showed on a bet, I shaved 359 in the back of my head, and just had the numbers in the back of my head for the whole show. And it was just kind of something that we did for fun and on a whim. But the barber shaved 359 in the back of my head.
You know what, man? I can see it now.
Yeah, it was one of those deals. It was we were sitting around eating supper, and somebody dared me to do it. And so right before the show, I went and got my hair cut and had the 359 shaved in the back of my head. And I'm sure there's still some pictures around there somewhere of that when I did that.
I go back and every now and then, if I'm looking for something, I'm going through old photographs, stuff that we've got, that I've got archived, and I've got a very small piece of it. Dan's got everything, but to go back and look at what I've pulled and brought in and saved over the years, and I look at some of the stuff, and I go back, to the early 2000s, and just how much has changed over the years, but just the way we kind of do things, people in this industry and around the shows and those folks, you yourself and all everybody we know, just have a different way of doing things, it's as equal, unique, and great and fun as any other sport, I think, and a lot of the stuff that people do outside, and whether it's baseball, football, whatever sports, they're out there and they've got different things that people do. I think we've got a lot of that going on, man. I'll tell you, because I think everybody kind of borrows from everybody.
Yeah, and I've been seeing on Facebook some of the flashbacks of Louisville and kind of leading up to the 50th year.
Yeah.
And some of the things that the guys and myself were doing back in the day. Some things you probably wouldn't even think about doing today, but as you look at some of those pictures, some of them guys, probably myself included, were doing things and setting trends way back then that you just don't think about now. I mean, I saw a picture of Jeff Boyd's dump truck. He displayed at Louisville with no wheels on the one side of his truck, and they were out away from his tractor, and they were bolted back together, inside, outsides, immaculate polished, and the brake drums were chrome. And I mean, you could see how clean that truck actually was. And, some of them guys were way, way ahead of their time.
Well, I think that, and remember, here's where I think and I'm going to bring this up right now. I'll show you kind of where I'm going with this too. Now this is back from 2001. But looking at some of these, you look at these pictures.
There's Darren Stevens.
Yep.
He was another one that was way ahead of his time and doing, dressing up in a tuxedo. And, Louisville, you get all kinds of weather. And if I remember right, the day that we got judged, it was hotter than Hades out. And he was in a tuxedo and a top hat and gloves and a cane, letting them go around his truck. And he was another one that was way ahead of his time in showing.
Well, and here's where it kind of all came together. For me, my first Louisville show that I attended, I was a spectator, but I was in the industry, but far from, what was going on here in Louisville. I mean, I built a show truck. I was showing, I was competing, but it was definitely not where these guys were, I mean, whole different level. But that being said, the stuff that I saw and the people I met and everything that was going on, we were all kind of taken from different manufacturers, different industries, whether it be custom motorcycle industry, custom car industry, hot rods and different things like that, and getting ideas and bringing in actual products. I mean, from those people and putting them on our trucks, whether it was, light brackets, mirror brackets, any kind of just trick, chrome, stainless, whatever thing that would look good on a truck. There was a lot of that going on there because there really wasn't anything out there yet that was specifically catering to the trucks. I mean, very, very little. Most of the guys either custom fabricated their stuff, or were lucky to find something that would, and somehow or another work. Um, but just going through, I mean, you look at the ground effects. Everybody's got carpet and glitter and flowers and just all that stuff, and you don't see as much of that anymore, I don't think.
It, and it's kind of sad because I think that a lot of that it's your presentation, and it just
Yep.
kind of ties it all together. It's just that extra mile. It's just that extra point or two that you're probably going to get on that. And I do like seeing that. It's kind of a pain to do, but I think it really presents the tractor and trailer very well. And going back to what you said, when I was showing, like you said, a lot of things weren't, you couldn't just go buy them and you had to make them. And a friend of mine, we rated his Harley parts, his Camaro parts,
Yeah.
the feed mill parts, trying to, he would always say, "Hey, I know that I've got this," and he would make it work. And I really appreciated more than going to town and actually buying it today. And the fun that we had, and he still helps me today with my cab over and with my 379. It's it means more to you than going to town and buying it. And back then things weren't as easy as they are now. And I had a lot of pride in that swoop truck and that trailer, and the things were different back then. You didn't always win, but the trophies that I brought home were my friends. And when I travel trucking wise, I mean, I've got a friend not too far away, and that's really means more to me than a lot of the trophies that I won. My trophies are people that I can call up and call my friends. And Dan and you and Eric, I met them a long time ago, and that was through showing. It was through Jerry Jeffries, and
Yeah.
It's crazy how the friendships last a long time. And a lot of people I don't really consider them friends anymore. I consider them family. And so that's kind of where I'm at on all that. I mean, I miss showing. It's a lot of work, but I had a lot of fun, and I've got some damn good friends that I've made through the years doing it, and I wouldn't trade that for anything.
I agree, 100%, 110%. We've got a lot of people out there that the magazine, of course, going back many years, when Dan and Eric were out and about doing it. Eric Sieben, Big E, of course. Those relationships that they created all those years ago, man, they're still strong as heck, and always something that has made what 10-4 family is. And once you're a cover trucker, there's that family. You're part of the family forever, and we just love the heck out of the fact that you guys appreciate what we're doing, and we appreciate what you're doing.
I've still got the original one of the original sweatshirts that they came out with. It's got the yellow truck on it. It's kind of cartoony, and it's got some green on it. Eric gave me that 1 year after the show. Of course, I was friends with Jerry and Gail, and he asked me if I would help tear down the booth after the show, and I did. And I didn't know Eric or Dan or any of them, and we got it all done. And he's like, "Well, I want to pay you." And I go, "You don't owe me nothing. I mean, it was nice to meet you." And he gave me that sweatshirt, and you can't hardly tell what it says anymore, but I've still got it. And that's a friendship
Yep.
that you can't ever replace. And just like Jerry, I mean, he was a heck of a good guy, and I miss seeing him around and the shows and what he brought to the table for the showers.
Absolutely. And for those of you that may be wondering, well, Jerry Jeffries, why do I know that name, or Gail? That's because Jerry was the creator of Double J Enterprises, and Double J is, of course, kind of like the finishing touch on a lot of show trucks, a lot of trucks period out there, that yeah, their light brackets and their blinker bars, and different effects that they've had throughout the years, which there's more coming, by the way. Don't ever think that Double J is out. They're very much in the game. Their design and research has been going on for years. They're coming up with stuff for the new trucks. It's just not out yet, but that's who we're talking about, is the Double J folks, and the things that they did. I think Jerry took that light bracket basically, and it was an idea concept from, what the old 359s had on them for a light bracket, and merged it into a kind of an idea in his mind of what a hot rod would look like, because he's that kind of guy, and came up with those Double J light brackets. Now, I've talked to so many people over the years that talk about those products, and they call them JJ brackets. A lot of them call them JJ brackets, right?
Yep, and it's funny if you want to hear how I met him. I showed the first year in Louisville with my swoop truck, and his daughter came by and she said, "Why don't you have any of my dad's stuff on your truck?" I'm like, "Well, I don't know who your dad is," and she
That'd be
told
Jody,
me,
by the way.
"Yeah, Jody," and I I was like, "I don't," I go, "I can't afford it," and pretty soon Jerry and Gail came by and he said, "Why don't you have any of my stuff on your truck?" And I said, "Well, I think I told your daughter," I said, I just got started in this showing thing and I haven't, got established yet." And he goes, "Well, what if I just sponsor you?" Well, he, he and I hit it off, and he always called me his son, and Gail still calls and wants to know how her son's doing. And I actually had his Fagil all one summer at my shop, and he would come through and spend like a week with us, and just we would go and he would tell me the stories of the different things that he had done, and he was a very interesting man, and I always valued his friendship a great deal.
He's never out of let's say out of mind. We're always thinking about him. I'll bring up a couple of pictures. Where's that truck at now? Does anybody know?
I think that the Fagil or the
The
last 350,
Fagil.
I don't, I no, I'm not sure who ended up with it.
I mean, I know where his 359 is. That's Bob. Is it
I
Hodges?
thought it's James. Is it James Hodge?
James Hodge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's got it. And I drove it to a show for Jerry one time. He said, "I just can't be cooped up in that truck." He said, would you take it?" And I said, "Yeah, I'd do that for you." And we actually did a lot of that, the last minute things at my shop before we did take it to Louisville that one year. And the Fagil, I was thinking, did Chad Foose end up with that, or am I not thinking clearly on that?
I don't know. Dan, and Dan, I've got that picture, so we're good. Dan, maybe Dan would know.
I was thinking that maybe he ended up with it, or I heard two different people. So um, I can't honestly answer that question.
Yeah, it's around. Let me look at the back end, and these files. Unfortunately, these are just very, very small. Dan says he doesn't know where it ended up either. These files are just so small that they're just too old. They're so small. They were taken with probably who knows what Instamatic or something like that before we had badass cameras built in our phones.
When I had it for that summer, he had an old airplane prop on the back of it, and it had like wooden fins on it.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like a miniature, like Southern Pride truck, if you would, with the big engines on it today, but it had like a little bit of motor on the back, and it was always pretty cool. And um, it was always kind of fun to drive it around town, and people look, and a lot of people didn't know what they were looking at for sure.
In case you guys are wondering, this is Mark and Jody right there. That is Jerry's daughter on the right, and I'll tell you what a prankster she is. Her and Shannon got together one year when we were all in Louisville, and it was out on our 10-4 dinner. Logan's Steakhouse, maybe we were at. I think, I don't know. Anyways, Dan, thank you. Kodak Mavica. I don't know. Anyway, uh, they told the waitress it was my birthday, and I don't know if you ever been. I think it was Logan's. They bring the saddle mounted um, on a saddle mount, you know, that you would have in your barn or stable, right? Saddle rack, and they bring that out, and you got to jump on that, and they sing "Happy Birthday" to you. Well, it wasn't my birthday. They just, you know. Anyway, I played along. It was fun. That was an interesting night. We ended up downtown Kentucky. Sampling Kentucky's finest bourbons out there. Yeah, pretty funny, man.
She
Pretty funny.
probably got that from her dad because the week or two that he would stay with us, the I can remember one year when you said that the girlfriend that I was dating at the time, of course, she went out to eat with us every night, and every night we went to a different steakhouse, and every night that we went, it was her birthday, and she goes, "Look, I can't go anymore." She goes, "I've aged so much this week." She goes, "I can't go and have dinner with you guys anymore because we would go to like Roadhouse and Outback, and I think we went to Texas Roadhouse. We went to like 4 or 5 different places, and she goes, I'm aging so fast this week. She goes, I'm gonna have to quit going to dinner with you guys. But Jerry and I would, we had a lot of good times. One night at Outback, it was just he and I, and we completely ate them out of coconut shrimp. It was like a joke. Everybody that came in, he would buy a plate of coconut shrimp for him, and we were just like trying to see how many orders we could buy, and he just kept a couple people came in that I knew, and he would buy them coconut shrimp, and he goes, well, I think we could eat another order. And finally the manager came out and he goes, we are out of coconut shrimp. And it was just good memories of Jerry.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I've heard great stories about him over the years. And when I first got connected to the Double J family, it was just right after Jerry's passing. So I didn't get the opportunity to meet up with him. And I came into 10-4 and I started working together in 2017. So, you know, just after his passing.
I was very lucky to know them, and they used my 359 quite a bit in their their brochures and their ads, and that was just a little plug for me. And I always respected them, and I still respect Gail a lot. And she calls from time to time, and we visit, and just a good family, good products, and good family.
I couldn't agree more. Well, let's talk a little bit about Paul K. Young Truck Beauty Championship and what the heck is coming up and can be expected to happen this year with that. Tell us what's going on.
I think it's time. I think it's time that everybody, gets back to Louisville, and we have the show. I think we need it to have it just in the world that we're living in today. We've got a few surprises up our sleeve. We've had some sponsors really step up. Roadworks has really stepped up their game. The Chrome Shop, Brian, the Chrome Shop Mafia, he's stepped up and he's doing some things for us, along with our other sponsors. Mac Trailer is sponsoring a tractor pull, truck pull after the truck show itself on Saturday night, and that's going to be pretty exciting. It's going to be all the big hitters. It's not, you had to be invited to be at this pull. So if you like pulls at all, the tractors and the semis are going to be pulling. We've got 168 hard registrants right now, and with the way the numbers growing, I know a couple guys that are lurking in the shadows that haven't registered yet. I could potentially see us knocking on the door of having 200 trucks at the show. We've got a bigger lot this year, so we can accommodate the extra the extra contestants, and so I think it's really going to be good. And I've seen some pictures, I've gotten some phone calls and some texts. There's going to be some big hitters coming to Louisville this year. I mean, if you want to see some good trucks, you need to be at Louisville. I know of about 5 trucks that have been sat on that probably nobody's even seen a picture of.
And more coming that are being built right now.
Yes, and there's that's probably doesn't even include the ones that I don't even know about, but
Yeah.
the guys that have shared with me and their builds, I know two guys that have built a truck and hasn't even seen the light of day, that was going to be ready for 20. So, and they've kept it under wraps, and nobody even knows about it.
So
So,
let's go under the hood of the competition a little bit. Judging and kind of what is that? Just the high up overview. What are we looking for?
as far as like, we'd like to see a very clean truck, a very tidy truck. The details. Turning your screws on your dash so they're all the same way. Rolling your tires. That's just kind of some of the minor things that we've all learned a long time ago, but
Yep.
that kind of sets you apart. Did you pick your tire? Did you pick the rocks out of your tire? Yeah, they're buttered, but did you pick the rocks out? It's just details. And when you have two big heavy hitters going against each other, you have to start picking it apart. And when you start picking it apart, did you line your wheels up on your tires all the way through? Are the backside of your wheels polished? Just things like that. It's just when you think you're done cleaning, start cleaning again, because
Yeah.
there's always some place that needs to be cleaned. Going back to Bob Harley, he's one of those guys that, I'll take a judge and say, now here's a perfect truck. And then you can kind of go down from there. But Bob just is such an extremely cleaner that he doesn't leave any stone left unturned. And he has just set the benchmark, kind of like Darren Stevens and Jeff Boyd did back in the day. Now it's Bob Harley, and so that's kind of where we start at. And we've got first show that kind of gets a guy in and lets him get his feet wet and kind of see what it takes to compete. That the limited mileage class is just such an extremely hard class, but it's limited mileage for a reason. And those guys are pulling all the stops out to to win those trophies. And we got some pretty nice trophies coming again this year. I redesigned them, kind of made them more Louisville friendly, if you will. And it's going to be a great show.
So let me ask this: if you had words of encouragement for a first-time show guy, hearing what you've said so far, what would you tell him to encourage him to show up and compete?
Well, those trophies are very nice. We've got a couple tricks up our sleeves for the winners, that kind of gives them a little more pat on the back throughout the year, if you will. That's kind of letting the cat out of the bag there. But
Oh, I don't know. I think it's still under wraps. You're okay. Yeah.
We've got something for the winners for Saturday night that one of our sponsors wants to do with them. So there's another reason to get there and get cleaned up and do the best you can, because I think our 6 or 7 winners, we got a little special treat for them after the show, and then those 6 or 7 winners that are our big winners, we've got another treat for them throughout the year that it'll be kind of special for them, and
Yep.
a constant reminder of Louisville, if you will. Plus,
Awesome.
the trophies this year, I'm really proud of them. They're more Louisville oriented. So when you look at it and you see the trophy, you know that you were in Louisville. I went to Bob's office and I saw the trophies, and I took pictures of it. And like when you look at this I-75, when you see palm trees, and it was kind of like more show oriented in the region you were in. And I looked at the Louisville trophy, and as nice as they were, they needed to have something that made you think of Louisville. And so we redesigned them, and I think they'll be well perceived.
Geotagged, if you will, kind of, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. No, I totally get what you're saying. I think, just from what we're saying so far, it kind of cracks me up, because going back to what made sense to me in the days that I competed, and you said something that I remember doing, and that's lining up all the screws on the dash. and stuff like that. But here's the funny thing, man. That was just me being me. So if you're showing a truck, anybody out there showing a truck and you're not OCD, go find somebody that is, because they'll help you do a good presentation.
There was one screw in my 359 that come to showtime, I had to back it off, but going down the road it would rattle and it wouldn't line up. It wouldn't line up perfect and be tight. So like after the show, there was one screw on my dash that wasn't exactly right, So
Yeah.
I always had to loosen it back or tighten it, and it was not square with the rest of the world.
Oh man, I mean, Dan brought up a good point, and this was exactly what I was thinking too when you were saying, how you're trying to get them more kind of eco-centric to the, the Louisville area. Do the trophies come with a bottle of Blanton's?
Well, for him, if he wins that light show with his go kart or with your go kart there, I would probably make that happen for him.
Make sure I get a sip because I'm building the cart. That's
Okay,
my
well,
brain at work.
Come up with a special award for you guys for that.
Yeah. We'll see. It'll either be, God darn it, we hate those 10-4 guys who were so noisy and bright, or they're going to be loving it. So we'll see. Hey, Dan sent me this. I got to share it here before we get too far out. But there's Jody and Shannon from the fake birthday caper there at Texas Roadhouse when they told the waiter or waitress it was my birthday. So yeah.
Yeah, she probably gets that pretty honest, because Jerry was always he was always a good jokester, and he could keep a poker face on a lot of things. So that was, he and I had a lot of fun together.
Dan says if we win the light show, that's sad. So yeah, now I don't think we're going to win the light show, but I think we might get, something. I don't know, maybe just hey, those 10-4 guys are crazy at least, because I think that this thing's going to be pretty crazy.
Like I said, some guys have shared some photos with me, and there's going to be a lot of jaw dropping, I believe. I mean,
yeah,
I've seen some, and of course, heard about them, and some guys, just some newcomers that to Louisville are coming, and I'm kind of excited about what they've got up their sleeve. Guys that I know that are coming, and what they've got up their sleeve. I think when you walk away this year a winner, you've accomplished something, because with 168 and the numbers are growing steadily still, we could potentially see 200 trucks. There's going to be some very nice trucks in Louisville, Kentucky this year. And wow. I think we as a world need this show to happen, and, come together, friends and family. And, that's always been a gathering place, and it is the Super Bowl of truck showing. And
absolutely.
It needs to happen.
Yeah. And let's make sure everybody knows too, this is an open event. There's no masks or restrictions of any kind, of any sort that I know of or have heard of, indoors or out. So show as you come as you are.
I will say that we had some meetings down there a week ago at the farm show, and the farm show is in its own right as good as the truck show. And the parking lot was packed. The inside was packed. And people were moving about and had a smile on their face. And if that's any benchmark as to what the truck show is going to bring, then I think we're going to have a heck of a turnout and a heck of a show.
Yeah,
like I said, our sponsors have just come out off the hook, and we've got a couple, 3 things up our sleeves, but it's going to be everybody wants this show to happen.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Well, this year's going to be interesting. And I, just before we got going, you and I here was looking around on Facebook and went to the 10-4 Magazine Lounge, which is our Facebook group for everybody to go and hang out in. And there's more truck show flyers being posted up in there for different shows that are going to be going on. And Dan and I talk about how many shows there are, and there's only so many that 10-4 can be at in a year. I mean, we've only got so many people. So we have to really think hard and long about where we're going to go and what makes the most sense for us to be at. Obviously, Mid-America, yeah, you have to be there, and we're looking forward to being there. We love that. So we're that was no brainer. But the conversation is like, well, how can there be so many shows? What's this going to do? And is it going to dilute the deal, or is it going to make it better? And I just the thought came to me today. I'm hoping that it improves and makes more guys aware kind of what's going on in the show truck world and how to compete and have fun, whether it's on the little local show that you maybe get, 50 trucks, 100 trucks, 50 trucks, maybe. I mean, even really, some of the bigger shows we do now only used to get 50, 100 trucks, right?
Exactly, and I think these little shows that they're doing for causes, I think that's great because then that gives the guy that doesn't quite have the show truck a chance to shine his truck up. Maybe it's not clean underneath like the guys in Louisville are doing, but it lets those guys be proud of their trucks, and I think it turns our name around that the truck driver is not such a bad person after all, and that those guys are willing to come together for a cause. And those little shows are just proof of that every day of the working truck that just got a day to take off, and he chooses it to take off to show his truck and to show up for a worthy cause, whatever that may be. And I think that's just a big shout out to the truck driver and the truck shower themselves. And I really appreciate that. And everybody coming to Louisville, I realize that it's turned into a week-long show now, but and it takes so long to get ready. But we've got so many time restraints on us on some things that we're doing and publications that we have no choice but to start early or we'll never get done. And there again, with the 160 or 70 trucks that we've already got, if we don't start early, we'll never get done. And so going back to the small shows, I just think it's a great deal that guys are willing to take their day off and go do something for the community or for whatever cause it may be.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think JC, I think you and I are exactly on the same page on this. And Stephanie commented too as well. And same, I think we're all on the same page that you guys out there that are doing your smaller shows that are out there that are just popping up this year, have at it, see if it works. If it makes sense, do it again. If not, maybe you combine somewhere else, or maybe you just let that one go. But I think it's awesome that there's so many people out there trying to do something and make a run of it. Especially, you know what, if you're not certain what it's like to be in the big game, go to Louisville, and you'll see what it takes to make it onto that level and that stage, and what these guys are all about, because it is the Super Bowl, the truck shows. I've told people for years it's the largest truck show in the world. I think it is. So, and that's because not of the necessarily the size, but you have all the manufacturers and all these representatives throughout the industry there.
Yeah, and everybody always seems to make the trip to Louisville, and that's another thing I would say about the small town show. Not everybody can go to Louisville per se. That's a hit. It's a hit to be down a week, and really realistically, you're down 2 to 3 weeks trying to get ready if you're really wanting to compete for the show. And some guys are down longer than that. But the small town shows, it gives the small guy or the guy that doesn't have a week to give to go to the show. And when it's in their backyard, it just makes sense. Or, one that's a state away, hey, we can make a long weekend out of it. We can take the family. And, so many of these truck shows are getting the kids involved now. And it makes good sense to bring the family. And, it goes back to that family that I've made years ago when I first started showing. There's always somebody that's got a small show. Hey, would you bring a truck? Would you bring a buddy? And the next thing you know, you've got a pretty darn good truck show, and supporting the cause.
Yep, absolutely. All right. Well, listen, JC, I'm hoping that we're going to be able to get together while you're there. I know you're going to be busy, but we'd love to get you in front of the 10-4 studio live camera and talk about how things have shaped up. We'll pick a day and let's get together and do that. What do you say?
That'd be great. Whatever day you've got, let me know. I think the big surprise will speak for itself. It won't be like we'll be hiding it anywhere. So I think you'll be able to find me. And if there's anything I can do while you're down there, let me know. And I appreciate you having us on. And if there's any questions you've got about the show or anybody, let me know, and I'd be happy to try to answer them this evening or whenever.
If people do have any questions out there that are wanting to have any questions answered, to get a hold of you and get those answered, I think we're good right now. But we're just looking forward to being able to get there, get together. We're going to be live streaming every day from Louisville, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. As long as the weather permits, we'll be live streaming. If not, we'll be recording segments and then uploading them and sharing them, depending on weather and how that works out. But we'll be live streaming on Wednesday. Everybody out there in the lot getting things ready, polished, cleaned up. When's Rags Down?
For some of the classes, it'll be Rags Down Wednesday afternoon, but for the bigger classes, it'll be Rags Down Thursday morning. But we will start judging some of the classes Wednesday afternoon, and that just goes back to the time restraints on the publications and some of the things we have up our sleeves. It just has to be that way. So one thing you can do for me is bring some of that California weather so that we're not shoveling snow and stuff like we did a couple years ago. You know, no one would ever believe that we were shoveling snow in Louisville, and
yes,
unless you were there and part of the action.
Well, and you know what? You can ask for it, and if it's a day like today and we can bring it, we will. But you never know what's going on out here. Dan and Shan had eight inches of snow last week at their place, and we had just nothing but cold weather. So it's crazy. But our fingers are crossed that we're going to get, be blessed with some of the best weather we've ever seen to celebrate the 50th anniversary of this show and the PKY Truck Beauty Championship, because we deserve it, man. It's been a long, cold 2 years off, right?
It has, and like I just want to thank the sponsors and thank my my partners that have listened to me every day and my growls and my complaints and things that haven't gone right, and they just keep your head up. We're going to get through this. I really appreciate their friendship, and we always have a good laugh. But at the end of the day, them guys have been pretty supportive of me and chasing this dream down. And looking back, Bud's probably been grooming me for the past 20 years for this day to take over. And I appreciate that, and I appreciate his friendship, and I learned a lot from Bud. And I started off showing. I've worked the show, and now I'm in charge. So I feel like I've worked my way to this point, and I can bring a lot more to the table. And Toby's been really great to work with, and he's brought some ideas to the table. So I think we're getting the best of both worlds. And I think there's going to be a lot of things this year that take people by surprise. And we just want to make it the best show that there is, because it is. So it doesn't hurt to improve on a good thing, though.
No, never. Listen, it's always a learning process. We're here at 10-4 Magazine taking over Trucking for Kids that we have purchased now. And when that show starts up this year in 2022, that's a 40-year-old show, but new to us. So we've got, even though we've been so involved over the years, it's a learning process. There's going to be plenty of hits and misses, I'm sure. So
yeah, I've told everybody, don't shoot me this year. Let me fix what we missed this year, and let me fix it next year if we miss something, and then you can shoot me.
Yeah. Give us a chance. Let's see what we can do, and then go from there.
Yeah, this transition year, it's kind of kicking me in the butt, but I think I've had a lot of help and a lot of support, and I think we've not turned over any stones. I think we've looked at everything, and hopefully we've got it. And I think we do. And I've had a lot of help, and like I said, the sponsors have just been great to work with, and the competitors have already signed up. I've talked to quite a few of them, and they're very excited about coming. And I think it's going to be a great show. I really do.
All right, JC, thanks for taking the time out today. And hey, congratulations on where you're at and what you're doing. And you look good. You sound good. So everything's working, brother.
I know it's hard to be perfect, but I try to make it look easy.
Damn straight.
All right. Well, thank you. And thanks for having us on, and look forward to seeing you in Louisville.
We will see you in Louisville, and we'll get you back in front of the Studio 10-4 live camera and have a chat there while we're getting going. Okay.
That sounds great. Thank you very much. Have a great
All right.
evening.
Take care, JC. All right, guys. JC Alt there, who is, of course, as you now know, if you haven't been informed, he's going to be running the Paul K. Young Truck Beauty Championship, and of course, longtime friend of 10-4 and all of us here at the magazine, whether in or out of the magazine. Uh, November 19 cover truck, and the Tilton Hilton, of course, which will be in Louisville this year. Can't wait to see that. A lot of great things. The bar's getting set pretty high with all the talking up of what's going to be happening this year, and heck, we didn't even get to the website. But if you guys haven't seen the website yet this year for trucking for whoops, let's add that back in for Mid America. There it is. They've done a really good job. They've updated some things, and there's some other stuff that's going on that I'm not entirely clear on, and that's one of the things I hope that we find out soon. And that is the Wall of Fame that they have initiated. In fact, over on their Facebook page, they've been putting up a lot of different individuals that are Wall of Fame nominees. And I'm assuming, and I hope I'm not wrong in this, that by being a nominee, that you're going to be put on the wall this year, and that's what that means, and that it doesn't come down to this one didn't make it, but this one did. I'd like to see all these guys make it on the first year induction of this thing, and I'd love to see where it's going to happen and what it's going to look like. And there's our own 10-4 magazine, Big E, smiling right there at you, who is a nominee. I haven't seen anything of this yet that they put up. I think his is coming, but they've got quite a few of these, like Dale Summers, the Honoring Our Industry Wall of Fame notifier that they've been putting up in Facebook. I'll tell you something else I'm looking forward to is this. Where did it go? We didn't even get to talk about it. Right there, by golly, the Matt's 2022 beer garden. So I'm curious to see what that's going to look like, what it's going to taste like. But that should be a fun thing. It's always good to have good cold beer. So looking forward to seeing that. Be sure and go check out their website. If you guys haven't registered yet, if you're just an attendee, I think the free registration is over. Then you're going to have to pay to get in now. If you are a subscriber to 10-4 magazine, you'll get one ticket. And if you are a new subscriber to 10-4 magazine and subscribed before yesterday, you'll be getting a ticket in your magazine subscription. And if you're not a subscriber, why aren't you subscribing? Get in there and get subscribed to the magazine. Just go over to the 10-4magazine.com website. Click on that subscribe button right there, just like I did. And there it is. Click what you like. It's a $50 commitment for the year. You get one magazine per month, 12 magazine subscription for the year. It comes to you shipped directly from our printer in a clear plastic jacket, so it is protected and it gets to you as good as the day it was printed. And from time to time, we throw goodies in there, and you might get a pocket or a desk calendar or a fridge calendar, or you might get a poster, or who knows, ticket to Matt's. There's all kinds of different stuff that we may do from time to time. There's going to be some great stuff being made available at the Mid America Truck Show at our booth, so be sure and drop in and say hi. There will be plenty of shirts, hopefully hats. We have some really cool coasters that are going to be out. Look for those. And in our swag bag that we're going to be handing out to all the contestants, the competitors at the Paul K. Young Truck Beauty Championship, they're going to get a magazine and a 10-4 magazine coaster in their bag with probably a lot of other cool stuff. One more thing I wanted to cover before we take off, and that is we supported the Canadian truckers and what they were trying to accomplish during their time of protesting in their country. We did as much as we could, and we actually had a fellow that we got connected with, and he did a live stream for us. We got a little walk around and a view as to what's going on. This convoy that's going on right now, in fact, in Monrovia, Indiana, right now, I'm assuming is what they're saying, that this rally is going on, is Shifting Gears, a rally for freedom and accountability. There's a lot of information like this that is being published in the 10-4 Magazine Lounge. If you're not a member of the 10-4 Magazine Lounge, please jump in and become one. It is a private group, so we've tried to kind of keep it under control. I have to still weed a lot of stuff out, but that's okay. That's my job. You guys come in there and share the cool stuff and let us know what's happening. What I want to know is what's going on with this rally. Nobody's reached out to us. We would like to be able to, at least give you guys as much information as we can possibly share with you and reprocess for you. So somebody wants to share a video or a live stream or something like that, I'd be curious to see what's happening. I'd love to see a shot of the actual convoy and all the trucks going down the road. I think something like that everybody else would like to see too. So somebody out there, if you're listening, if you're watching me right now and you're part of this thing, let us know what's going on. I frankly, I have not seen that. Um, I have seen some stuff come in through Big Rig Shots, which is actually from our friend and contributor Art, and I can't pronounce his last name, so I'm not even going to try. And I did reach out to him, but nothing came back. So love to find out what's happening. I don't even want to go into last night. I didn't watch it. I saw some of the highlights, and I think you guys know what I'm talking about. But God bless our country, and God bless the people that are over in oh crap, just all of a sudden got a brain drop there, brain freeze. But um, that are fighting for their country's freedom. Being invaded by Russia is no fun, I am sure. So I would say, yeah, Ukraine. Thanks, Joe. People of Ukraine, we're with you, and we certainly hope that you're able to either with or without the help of anybody else keep your country safe and yours. It's just not right to be invaded, and frankly, I just don't understand how we're letting history repeat itself right now with another dictator taking over a country that was doing nothing wrong. Um, uh, so that being said, that's as deep into it as I can go and want to go at this point. God bless you people, and may your families stay safe and not be harmed, and your country be returned to you and or kept. So yeah. Thank you, Billy Joe. Appreciate that, buddy. Maybe I am feeling a day over 59. I don't know, but anyway, great show tonight. So great to have JC Alt on the show with us, and anything you needed and wanted to know about the upcoming show, I hope you guys got that all figured out. You can go back and listen to any of this at any time. As soon as I close today's show, it'll be posted up and reviewable. We will be live streaming every day from Matt's. We will be live streaming Wednesday. We'll do 2 live streams. Going to be showing you guys what's going on and everybody out there getting ready for the big show. Thursday, probably 3 or so live streams, not including Thursday night, which will be the big light show. So lit up from Louisville. It'll be lights at about 8 o'clock or so. Whenever it's dark, we'll be out there and we'll stream that all evening long. So we'll probably break it up into 2 segments because it can run pretty long. But we'll see how it goes. Again, depending on weather, we'll see what happens. Friday, back at it again. 3 or 4 live streams, outdoor and indoor. We'll be doing live stream interviews with some of the drivers, owners, and operators that are out at the PKY show. Those are going to be some of our former cover truckers that are in the show and competing and have made it out to Louisville, as well as some new faces and names. So we hope to bring all of that to you. And then we'll be wrapping it up Saturday with live streams again from indoors and out throughout the show, as well as hopefully, again, depending on weather, the truck parade that'll be going on after the show. And I'm not sure how they're going to balance that out because I thought I saw an overlap of parade and truck pulls, but I'm sure we'll figure it out and make as much happen as we possibly can. But we'll definitely want to get that parade there to you guys on Saturday afternoon. And I think that's going to be sometime around 5 or so in the afternoon. Everything that's dependent on weather on the outdoor program. We'll see how it goes. We've even had this parade happen on the following Sunday. So we'll see what happens. In the meantime, We do have a couple more shows for you before moving on to Louisville and taking position there to bring Studio 10-4 to you. Uh, Next week, we'll have Dan Linz, editor, owner, creator of 10-4 Magazine, in the studio live here in the studio with us. And we're going to kind of keep doing that at least hopefully once a month, bringing Dan to you and talking about what's going on and what has happened over the years with 10-4 Magazine and what's going on in the future. What are we doing? Just kind of all sorts of topics. If you guys have any questions that you'd like to ask Dan, please do so. Also, would love it and appreciate it if you guys take the time to share our show in your Facebook feed. Make sure you've liked and followed our page, because if you haven't liked or followed the page and you've only liked it, eventually you will be dropped. It's not me thing or 10-4 thing, it's a Facebook thing. The like process is changing slowly. Many pages already ahead of ours do not have a like button any longer. They just have a follow button. So make sure you've done both, and that way you stick with us and don't miss anything. Appreciate you. Love you. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks to everybody that's been in on the show today and contributed by communicating and talking and chatting amongst yourselves and each other. Appreciate you. Keep the shiny side up, everybody out there. Stay safe. We'll see you guys next week.